Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? What we're going to be talking about right now is what's going on across the ocean. But the reason why I want to talk about it is because it's been happening here too, okay? And it's going to happen here continuously. And it's what's referred to as wargaming, okay? But what is scary is that they're using it where they're using food, okay? Governments of the European Union are engaged in war games which simulate and foresee a global food crisis. A mix of major factors, okay? They put all of they'll take like a hat pretty much and they'll put in like all the what's going on in the world, okay? And they'll say, shake it up and say, okay, this is what's going on and this is what's going to contribute, okay? They'll take like things like the Russia and Ukraine war, okay, because of the impact on the grain supplies. Weather events like El Nino and La Nina and their impact on the American soy output. What's going on with the farmers, the anti-EU farmer protests, okay, which have disrupted supermarket supply chains. And this has all been a cause for an alarm. So they say, right? So, of course, there's also the example of how drastically a pandemic can interfere with supply chains. We all saw it, right? You can't deny that. Because when you saw panic buying and people buying 18 packs of the big things of toilet paper, and you're saying, how many arses do you have to wipe today? It was cause for concern because it was a trend and a constant fear within the early months of the new crises that we had on our hands. But it wasn't just toilet paper. It was the Clorox wipes and paper towels and bleach and hand sanitizer and this and that and the other. And you're like, what the hell's really going on? Right? I mean, I had family members calling me saying, I'm at Walmart. There's no toilet paper. Do you have any? Can you spare square? Well, yeah, come on over. I'll give you some rolls. I mean, it was ridiculous. So there were details of a conference that was held in Brussels last month that envisioned a 2024-2025 food shortage in Europe that have been revealed. Over 2 days in Brussels last month, some 60 European Union and government officials, food security experts, because they know everything there is to know, apparently, industry representatives, there were some journalists that were there. They all gathered to confront the possibility of something barely on the radar a few years ago. And it was a full-blown food crisis, okay? Now, a systems modeler and a game designer. So this is why I said war games, okay? Because they're literally playing this like a game, okay? They helped put this conference gaming scenario together, and they told participants to expect a level of chaos. And they cautioned them, you're going to get confused at times because you're not going to have enough information. Just like how we were in the very beginning of 2020, right? But what's remarkable about this is the fact that a continent which stands out as among the best fed regions in the world is now busy stress testing its food system. Here are some of the scenarios that were put before the participants in the wargaming event that was held just last month. Harvest failures. They said, and so it's 2025, and there are more harvest failures. They impact animal feed prices, which curbs livestock and fish production. Some ships carrying crops turn away from Europe to cater to higher bidders elsewhere. The next scenario is palm oil exports cut. Asia's palm oil export limits are now reducing supplies of daily staples from margarine and bread. Allegations of corporate greed, disinformation, and conspiracy theories are spreading. The next scenario, fertilizer crisis. The cost of fertilizers and energy needed to grow crops and keep glass houses running soared in the wake of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Unrest in the streets is the next scenario. Unrest in the street as shortages hit locally. Things unravel further later than 2025. Thieves are looting supermarkets. Do you see where this is going? Okay. These are scenarios that they're playing out in a war game in Europe, but yet it's already played out here. Do you understand? Thieves are looting supermarkets. Police struggle to contain riots spreading in streets. People in Germany cannot find fish and meat in grocery stores. Livestock farmers are going bankrupt. Does any of this sound familiar to you? The next one, just wait. Popular anger targets elites and corporations. I'm not lying about any of it. It's no joke, okay? Meanwhile, the public's focus shifts to profiteering by commodity traders. Small farms fall like dominoes, while attack on immigrants begin to become more widespread. Is the EU a sinking ship? Someone asks in the video. As for solutions, interestingly, the participants at the conference, they were told, or rather took it as an assumption, that populations would have to be weaned off of meat and to let them eat bugs. No joke, okay? So then day 2 started with a mindfulness session before focusing on policy proposals and any conclusions. There was little objection to the idea that diets need to shift towards healthier options and away from meat, but the questions loomed over how to best manage food reserves and monitor the level of the stockpiles. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Stockpiles where, right? Yeah. So, just who is it that will manage the food reservoirs is very interesting, very scary. It's a scenario to imagine as well. Few governments in Europe are prepared for managing future food crises. We have been living here in this country in crises for the last 3 years. And there's a lot more to be done on every single level. And crises are only going to come faster and harder, in my opinion. So what really got me was them trying to Monitor the level of stockpiles. Who, what, where, how? Whose stockpiles? Are they looking at supermarket stockpiles? Someone please make this make sense. Okay, please. So I'm having a hell of a time. All right. All right, guys. Get back to me with your solutions on the monitoring of the level of the stockpiles. All right, I am out of here. I will see you in the next one. You stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping, and as always, fear less. Ciao.